So we're here to do a little bit of balance practice. You don't need any specialist clothes, you don't need to be in a sports kit, you can be just ordinary for this, but you do need to choose carefully, choose wisely where you're going to do this. So to work your balance, as I said in the preamble, you have to be able to work harder than you normally can manage. You have to work just on the boundary of what you can and can't do. Otherwise, you're just working to maintain your balance where it is. And actually, I know that most people want to make it better. So we have to just push that boundary slightly. To do that, you need to be in a safer nook than I'm in here. You might want chairs nearby, you might want this nearby, but you need to be in a safe nook. And I work in bare feet. You can work with your shoes on, but I think it helps you to get that feedback through your feet. So if you want to take your shoes and socks off, press pause, take your shoes and socks off before you start. So the first exercise is thinking with a flat wall behind you, thinking about what happens at your ankles. Your ankles are your first line of defence. If I tip forwards, what stops me? Well, feel it, try it, sway forwards and you work your calf muscles. That's what stops you falling on your nose. First of all this, and then one big step. If you're going backwards, the same. First of all, your toes start lifting and those ankles work as your balance mechanism. And then if it goes too far, push, one big step. So a lot of what we're going to be doing is working on those big steps and working on the ankle mechanism. So start with the wall behind you. If I take this pen and I balance it like that, nice and straight, I can get it to balance. However, if I tip it very slightly, it's always going to fall over. So thing one, get yourself in a straight line. Stack everything up in a straight line, as straight as you can. And it's lovely to do this with a wall behind you so that you've got a point of reference. Bring your shoulder back and put your shoulder blade in the back pocket of your jeans. Bring your other shoulder back, shoulder blade in your back pocket. Then think about bringing the head back, not tipping the head backwards, but actually just tucking that chin in. And you should be able to get your back of your head nearer the wall. And then lift one arm, nice big hand, nice straight elbows, and straighten up. And you can do that with the other arm. And you can do that with both arms. So try if you can, big hands, straight elbows, stretch up straight and get used to that straight line. We'll just line that up one more time because as you saw with this, even an inert object can balance if you get it lined up nicely. So getting lined up nicely is really important and this is improvable. So bring your posture up. Shoulder back, head back. We use our heads here on screens, on books, on watching television all the time. It's really important to just tuck that chin in. Straight elbow, big arm, big hand, hold up, big hand, hold up and stretch there. Your back will thank you for this. Hold it there and breathe. Try not to poke your tummy out when you're doing it. Try to keep your back on the wall, your bottom on the wall, your thumbs on the wall and the back of your head on the wall. It's a big ask, I know. Straight elbows and then wind that down. And then try and think about that foot ankle work. Now I've got a ruler on the floor down here and there's a very small difference between what I can do and what I can't do. So if I go out to about 15 centimetres away from the wall, you need to start close and with my body in a straight line, I tip back, practice that foot mechanism and just practice in a very, very measured way, falling backwards and bringing myself back forwards without bringing myself back forwards by going boing with my bottom. So it's a lot of tummy muscle work there. Hold your body in a straight line. Take the shoulders back towards the wall. See my toes come up when I'm controlling that, and then coming back forwards. If I move forwards with those feet, even just a very small couple of centimetres, suddenly you start panicking. The wall is still there, I promise. So the wall doesn't move, but it feels really strange. So there's a very small increment between what you can do and what you can't do there. So find your distance. See, that's much harder for me. And then when I'm in, if I'm in too far, it's easy as anything. And it partly depends how big your bottom is, of course. So feet out and practice that fall back. Make sure the feet are active. Make sure those toes are coming up and working there. And if you are in a corridor with a wall in front of you and a wall behind you, as I suggested in the preamble, then you can work both. I wouldn't work both if you've only got one wall, but if you've got a wall behind and a wall in front, then you can practice falling backwards, and then you can come forwards and do your Eddie the Eagle lean and catch yourself on the wall at the front before you go back to working backwards. So there you would be working the ankles going this way. Do your lean and the ankles going this way. Do your lean. And that's your rescue mechanism. So it's worth putting some time into working that. So try that on the wall. You can get a ruler, you can see what your distance is at the moment, and you can try and improve it, coming further out. In a very, very controlled way, back against the wall and back up again. And try not to break in the middle so that your bottom goes backwards without your shoulders coming backwards. The whole body goes and the whole body comes back. So that's exercise number 1, done. Exercise number 2 is a standing on one leg exercise. Doing step-ups, but not doing them quickly. Slow step-ups, super slow. So you're going to be probably at the bottom of your stairs. You've got banisters. I hope you've got banisters. And what I'd like you to do initially is get some engagement with your middle, so that when you lift your foot off the floor, your hip doesn't crash. It stays solid. So stay solid there. Put one foot up onto the step and take the foot off the step. The good measure of your balance is actually the noise I hear when that foot hits the step. If you've not really got control of that, I'll hear a bang as you put your foot down. So control that up onto the step and gently off the step. See how many seconds you can have between almost touching up and almost touching down. If you're finding this difficult, you've got your banisters to hold on to. If you're finding this okay, start to loosen the vice-like grip that you might have there. And what I sometimes do is put a smiley face on step 8 or 9, so that you're reminded to keep your chin up, because otherwise you can end up very, very carefully studying the step that you're going to. What this foot needs to be able to do is find the step without you looking. So keep smiling at step 8, imagine a friendly face there, and then work up and work up. And then change feet. If you're too good at this, you can go up to step 2. Doesn't have to be step 1. And you can barely touch down. So you're going to tap down. And this is also a strength exercise. The leg I'm working is the leg I'm standing on. And if you look very closely at the foot of that leg, it's working really, really hard to keep you balanced. I'm going to switch legs again. If you find it hard, go wider on the step. If you find it easy, go so that one foot's almost in front of the other. You have to be careful, but you've got the bars to hold if you need to. So just tapping up, hardly touching, and tapping back down. Smiling at that friendly face on step 8. Okay, 2 more. Tap. And tap. That will do for that one. So we can use the step now. Otherwise I'll fall over it. That would be ironic in a balance exercise class, wouldn't it? So walking is standing on one leg, like we've just been practicing. Then you end up standing like this. This we call tandem standing. Physios are very fond of tandem standing as an exercise. Then on this leg, then tandem standing again. So we spend a lot of time training tandem standing because it's so useful for walking. Being able to balance like this, not so useful. Being able to balance like this, that works in real life. So tandem standing, first of all, see if you can. Some people need to stand on a plank. You need to imagine yourself as if you're walking the plank and have a bit of space between these feet. Some people can stand on a tightrope. Yeah? Some people need a big long step. Some people need a smaller step. So first of all, have a little go. Step 1 foot forwards and see if you need a plank or if you can bring it into a tightrope. And keep the posture up. Keep smiling at that imaginary smiley face up there. Remember the pen. If you're very far forwards, you're likely to fall. So get that steady and stable. Good. Try the other leg. One leg will be better than the other. See how you are. There. So you can do a tandem there. Do I need to be on a plank? Or can I be on a tightrope? Now we've got that sorted, we need to add levels of complexity, which you can choose to do, or you can choose to ignore and stick with that tandem balance. So stay on your tightrope or on your plank. Go to please don't shoot. And that's a position that we hold in class a lot. And then turn. Turn that please don't shoot position and face one side. And then slowly turn and face the other side. We're working on rotation now. You might need something nearby. There. I've put some hand weights on the floor. I meant to have them in my hand. You can add weight if you want to. Or you can add really open hands, because sometimes the hands come in a bit. So nice open hands, please don't shoot me, and work that rotation. And work that rotation. Great. Switch legs. If you're feeling feisty, you can jump switch or you can step switch. I've been step switching, so I'm going to jump switch. Jump switch, thump. Please don't shoot, and rotate. Please don't shoot, and rotate. That's it. See if you can get round with the rotation. Now we're working the arms, aren't we? Can you feel them? They're getting heavy. So jump, switch your legs again. Whoosh. I've got two different things here. This is a smoothie, which has a bit of a splush to it, and this is a milk bottle filled with water. So in your tandem, use milk bottles or smoothies or something that's got a bit of a swoosh to it. So this is only half full of water. If you have a solid weight, it just feels like a solid weight as you're swinging it. In real life, you don't carry around solid weights, unless you're carrying toddlers. You carry things that move, like shopping bags. So I like these half half full of water, and then make that work with you in tandem. Get your posture up and work the swoosh. And this is a weight that splashes around and keeps moving. It's actually harder if you only put one in one hand. If you've got one in each hand, it sort of equalises. It's better to just work with one at a time. So I've kept my legs the same. I've done a bit with the right hand and a bit with the left hand. Look at this pause on that. Look at how much rotation is in the trunk. It's not just the arms moving and my chest faces forwards. My chest switches from facing to the right and then facing to the left. So sometimes people for running use a chest torch here with a light beam, a torch beam that comes out of it. So as you're swooshing, keep swooshing. As you're swooshing, imagine that torch beam with the rotation turning, doing an arc from side to side. Let's swap legs. Jump swap if you want to. Jump switch. And you can jump switch as many times as you like. If you're fancying a feisty exercise session, keep jump switching. Use your swishy bottles and rotate and rotate. Good. So you can swish with the left and swish with the right and swish with both. And do what feels challenging. And you start to feel it in your ankles as your ankles are working to balance you there. Right. One step further into that tandem stand then. I'm going to keep this foot still on this cross. And the other foot is going to move from the front to the back. So this is my posture in the middle. Keep it straight. And you're going to go to the front and to the back. For some people, you're going to have to keep it out to the side a bit because you're going to feel a bit unsteady and you're going to have to hold on. For other people, you can go to the tightrope and to the tightrope. The further out, hang on, let me show you with this leg because you'll see it better. Trying to go out as well as forwards and out as well as backwards takes it up a level. So you're going to work in front and behind. And you're going to really work that posture as you do it. Ideally, if you can keep your balance there, you would add another level of difficulty. Because as I said before, you're very intelligent humans and you'll cheat. This won't be your automatic balance. You'll be thinking very, very hard whilst you're doing it. So if I'm doing this in class with you, I would say, right, tell me about yourself, tell me about your family. Or if you're practicing at home, choose a piece of poetry, choose a silly story, and try and recite it at the same time. So it can be something very, very simple, but I often get people to choose a bedtime story that was a favourite in their house and recite at the same time. So you've got the posture and the loudness. That's good. Round and round. So working forwards and backwards with the outside. Now going to the tandem that we just did, there's another level of difficulty. If you put your feet on the mat, I've just got a folded gym mat here, that adds another level of instability. Try it with caution, but you can try it. And you can do the swooshing there. So come back to tandem, either on a plank or on a tightrope, and swish. Using your milk bottles if you like. And the other thing that I sometimes do, which you might enjoy, adds a bit of strength as well. So If you like, just do what we did before with this and turn and turn. If you can, add a lunge with that, a nice big deep lunge, and then turn. Don't shoot, and hold the lunge with the balance. So it's up to you how you want to work that. But if you're trying to talk at the same time as I am, you're less steady than if you're really concentrating on it. So I quite like you talking at the same time. And then another backwards lunge. Hold the lunge. Hold the posture. Don't shoot. And then rotate. And rotate. Lovely. One more that way. One more the other way. Push round and hang on. And then back in. So you can do that tandem idea with some reverse lunges as well. Next, we're thinking about balancing straight. So I often use a chair. And my group have been practicing this from Christmas, reaching towards the chair. So pulling into that position and then back up. Slowly and in a controlled way. So you're reaching for a chair. If you're worried about this, do it towards something a bit more solid. Reaching towards the chair and then back up. Try doing 3 or 4 each side. You don't have to do it in time with me because we're all wonderfully different. Last one. So at home, if you are blessed with many, many loo rolls, you can do that and stack the loo rolls. You can take them off this stack and put them onto this stack. If you want to, you can do it with a weight so that you're reaching down and then pushing the weight up. And then reaching down and pushing the weight up. Up to you. And obviously a stable weight is easier than a swishy weight. Okay. Funny, isn't it? It's difficult. And you think, what a funny thing to do. But in real life, we do that all the time. When you stand up to leave a restaurant, the first thing you do is pick up your bag. When you're loading a washing machine, when you're hanging up your washing, it's exactly what you're doing. You're picking one thing up and putting it up there. So it is functionally useful. Another couple. Drop down. Pick up and put it up high. Drop down and put it up high. Last 2. Drop down and put it up high. Last 1. Drop down and put up high. If you want to make that more difficult, you're going to go to the side, like we did with these. We took the leg out to the side to increase the level of difficulty. So same thing, but now you're going to drop down and you're going to take your leg slightly to the side before you come back up. Drop down and take the leg slightly out and in before you come back up. Drop down, out, in, and back up. Last one. These are hard. We're not going to do loads of these. Last one. Down, out, in, and back up. Good. So now, putting a lot of things together. So, I've said to you that you save yourself from falling with activation around the ankles and with that one big step. If that one big step is a little shuffly step, you don't quite save yourself. So, working that one big step, but also turning. Turning is something I hear over and over again. Turning is not something that people get on well with in terms of balance. So we're going to add turning. Turning and one big step and a thinking game so that it all happens very automatically. This is where you need your sense of humour. With all of these things, you have to work at your limits so that you are just close to failing. And that's how you get better. That's how you push your limit. It's how we all did it when we were learning to ride bikes and things. And that's how we continue to push our limits. So within a safe context, just pushing the limit. So I've got north in front of me here. So I'll say step north and do one big step north and then back again. Step south. Step north. Step east. Rubbish. That was rubbish. Step east. Step west. Step north. Big step every time. I've got a dog. He's about this high. So I'd like it if you step over the dog every time and back over the dog. Sometimes step north looks like this. Step north. Fantastic step north. And then to come back again. So try and step over the dog and back over the dog. Can you see when you're out there, you're in that lovely tandem position and then back again. All right, so now turn west, 2 steps. Step north, north doesn't move. Step south. Step east. Step west. Turn south. Step west. Step north. Step south. Turn west. Step north. And sideways needs to be the same. It needs to be over and back over my dog, if you can. Step north. Step south. Step north. Step south. Step west. Step east. Turn north. Turn west. Turn south. Step east. Turn west. Step north. Turn north. Step south. Turn west. Step south. And rest. Well done. So that's hard because it includes some thinking games, which means you need to do your balance automatically. You're working a lot of the time in a tandem position, and I've got you doing it, hopefully, in beautiful posture and with big old hands whilst you're working. I'm doing the opposite hand to leg, which is another cognitive skill, and trying to get your turning in 2 steps as you go around 90 degrees each time. So there's an awful lot to that, but you can have fun playing with that. You can have fun trying that out. If you find that that's too easy for you, and I challenge you, then you don't have to step it. You can do beautiful big lunges. That's the thing, your time is precious, I know that. So actually combining some of the strength training with the balance training is possible, because each time you step north, you can do a beautiful lunge and then do some rotations and then come back and then do the turn and do the next one. So if you want to join those things up, if you're not finding it challenging enough, join it up. But actually, it is challenging, really challenging, to do these things and do them slowly and well, in good posture, with nice big hands and nice big steps, and active feet. Feet that lift and move as you place them on the ground and aren't just lumped at the bottom of your leg without movement. So that's my challenge. Have fun with those things when you're waiting for things, rather than waiting in a very stable position. Just try one foot in front of the other, so that if you're standing in line in supermarkets, you're actually working a little bit of balance. You need something nearby to hold on to at all times if you're challenging your balance, but you need to also be working it so that you can learn to find lines on your floor and be able to tightrope them forwards and tightrope them backwards, and talk at the same time. Alright, so there's the ultimate challenge. Tightrope walking, legs coming sideways, and tell a story. Chins up and keep smiling. Thank you so much. Have fun with those things. Bye!